Have you ever thought about using trading bots? I used Bitsgap in the last bull market and turned $1,000 into $50,000 within a 5-month period. I documented the whole process and put it in a playlist if you want to see that, along with other training videos and tutorials how to set bots up and make the most of the volatility of the crypto market. If you sign up with a link in the description, you'll get a 7 days free trial with no obligation to continue, and you can also use a demo account within Bitsgap so you don't have to risk your own capital. Bitsgap! Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, focusing specifically on Bitcoin and Ethereum as we would expect all other alts to follow. We'll have a look at total market cap too, and we'll also look at Dixie. So a little bit to get through, but I'll try and make it as quick as I can. I appreciate everyone's busy. Right, so what we're seeing here on Bitcoin is another retest of that 20 simple on the daily there. It's 20 simple with a view to kiss that 20 exponential, the 21 exponential, which is currently sitting around 36,566. So as far as you can see, if we just take off a lot of this noise here, it's basically a formation, isn't it really? Whether you do the formation on the candle bodies, as so, come on you, give me a candle body, as so, and you'll get yourself an extension like that, which means that we're still very early on in this formation on a daily, potentially living in within this range for what could be maybe a couple more weeks. How boring would that be? Or you could extend it to the these areas, which shortens the formation dramatically. But still, you know, we could live in here for the rest of the week, looking for a retest of these bottom ranges. So if we just turn on all the noise again, just turn it back on. We're basically looking at 20 simple moving average, or a 21. 20 simple moving average or a 21 exponential. So that's basically a formation, but we're using moving averages as the foundation, as the support. But I just thought I'd draw the formation in there to give you a rough estimate of time. So we're looking for this formation to arguably break this week, for the better or for the worse. The sooner it breaks, the better. So if we were to break above and get above 38,000 today, tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe even Friday, it should still be enough to give us continuation to the upside. We would also say the same if we were to get a breakdown within that time frame. If we were staying within the formation right towards the very end of this week and got a breakdown, it would be probably a fast turnaround, as in we'd be looking for a support given to us on a horizontal basis. I'll probably be looking at this one personally around the 35,500, and that would be a breakdown of the formation and a quick turnaround at that point, and a breakout. Also, if we saw a fake out towards the end of the week, so if we got to the weekend and saw the breakout, it was probably going to be a very quick retracement and might mark the top. So just a few things to think of. Now, obviously, Monday was yesterday. We've finally seen the closure on the money flow index, and it closed over here at 86. We've continued to rise to 89 on the weekly. It is looking very toppy at this point now. So any move up on Bitcoin, any significant move up, would probably mark the peak of this. And again, seeing the volume coming this high, especially this fast on this week, and we've risen to almost 90. You don't want to be in anything really that's sitting around a 90 on a weekly. And absolutely, if we start going even higher than that, you just really need to think about exiting positions. I say it all the time on the Patreon. We're looking at all these altcoins and say, look, altcoins have great setups. They do. There's many setups on altcoins, and they look very tasty. But the market is dominated by Bitcoin, unfortunately. And if Bitcoin is ready to come down, it's more than likely any altcoin with an amazing setup will fail. I have to reiterate it all the time. I'm pretty sure everyone on the Patreon is absolutely sick of me doing that, but I have to, because we can look at a great chart with a great setup with a really good degree of success, and then we turn ourselves over to have a look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin at the moment, like I say, is poking up towards 90 on the money flow index, saying, I'm very hot, I wouldn't buy me, don't buy me, I'm too hot, I am boiling hot, I'm going to hurt you. You're going to get burned. And that's what it means. And so if you're going to get burned on Bitcoin, you're definitely going to get burned on altcoins. So it's been the same story for about 3 weeks now. I've been saying, look, okay, let's just be cautious. If we get an alt season 2.0, excellent. And we still might. But, if we don't, it's no big deal because we've been taking profit, systematically on almost all these pumps that we've had. Because we're more than aware that this is not parabolic season. This is just serious gain season, to which we should have all enjoyed that by now. Might be coming to a dramatic end, unfortunately, here with Bitcoin, dragging all these coins down, which is unfortunate, but it's the nature of the game. But, if you wanted to play the train dodge, is what I call it, it's a train dodge, then you can still enter altcoins, absolutely. But just like any train dodge, if you want to look like, and feel like a hero, you've got to jump off at the last minute. And when is that going to be? How fast is that train? Do you have the skills to do the train dodge? Because right now the train's getting quite close to you. It might knock you over. To be fair, you might get completely smashed by that train, and that is what's going on right now, I have to say. But like I said, the lower term time frames, in the daily and the 4 hourly, they could easily be looking for another move back up. But that weekly, oh god, she is dangerous. So. I often make the analogy, if there's a gun to my head, what am I going to do? How am I going to trade this? I would probably think that there is another leg up, maybe to a new local high, something along the lines of the lower 40,000s, and that's where we peak. But that also might be a bit of a bullish bias of mine. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, taking profit has been the name of the game for like 3-4 weeks now. Taking profit on all those pumps that we've done for what feels like, I suppose, been about 2 months now. I don't want to see those gains get demolished, because those gains can be put to much better use if we consolidate for a prolonged period of time, which is what I think is probably going to happen on Bitcoin. Just given the size of this move up, especially the most recent one up, and we were sitting down here at 25,000, and we've more or less, moved up an enormous amount of percent. We could easily see ourselves consolidate back down to that level, to the mid to lower 20,000s between now and summertime, which is getting closer to that halving. So if that's the case, you're looking for a sizable retracement. We're looking for a 30 and maybe even 45% retracement. That sounds shocking, but it's absolutely perfectly normal for Bitcoin to do that. But in a bull market, yeah, absolutely. A bull market goes up and then it comes back down and it forms higher low. That's the game. Right, so that's enough about Bitcoin scaring you all. Let's have a look at total market cap too. So we've had 1, 2, 3. We've had a few drives now of trying to break this resistance, and unfortunately failed to do it this time. There is still hope on this one, again being supported similar to that of Bitcoin on the 21 exponential moving average on the daily, breakout of money flow index and on RSI, which again suggests further upside or another attempt at least to make our way up today. So I still think we have another push up to these serious areas, and maybe we break, giving us that 40% gain on altcoins across the board. But until we break it, it is a resistance, and my catchphrase, one of many. Expect to be rejected from resistance. Expect to be supported from support. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, but it's definitely worth remembering. So yeah, at the moment we're getting rejected from resistance. So until it breaks, that's when we think, all right, maybe we get the 40%, but only until it breaks. That is it for total market cap 2. Now, this is the really interesting one. I'm surprised it's not started to turn around yet, but maybe it will. This is your Dixie. No bullish divergence on the daily. On the 4 hourly, several drives now of bullish divergence on the daily. On the 4 hourly, sorry. So it does have a move in it. I would say at this point now. It's got lots of areas to reclaim. It's currently getting rejected on a 10 exponential. Then we've got a horizontal here at 103.4, and then we've got the 50 exponential sitting up here at 103.7. These are kind of baby step moves. Definitely, less than 1%, really. How about less than 0.5%? But that's where it starts, because if you were to see a turnaround and a reversal on this one, this is what it would start to look like on the lower term timeframes. Then you build a base above supports and then make your way up to the next levels, 104 to 105.4, which would be a serious area for it to reclaim. So maybe we are looking for the dollar reversal. Maybe this is it already for Bitcoin, because the dollar can govern the rest of the market, all markets in fact, because it's a value of the dollar, isn't it? You've got a more expensive dollar, you've got a less expensive asset, and vice versa. So we might be looking at that reversal taking place. Now, it's 3 drives now. 3 drives is usually when we start to take it seriously. Right, so long story short, the future of Bitcoin and crypto is unclear at this point. There's enough evidence to suggest a top, and there's also some evidence to suggest a little bit more upside before an actual top. Either way, I think the top is closer than any significant support for those who are looking to buy for the long haul. If you want to get a position in Bitcoin or crypto in general, it is probably worth waiting until next year for long-term positions, I'd say at this point now. I think the market has more or less done its thing. And if we do get that breakout on Bitcoin and on total market cap too, and we do see serious rallies on altcoins, amounting to 20, 40, 100% gains on some of these altcoins, let it be. Let it be. Because I still would say that the risk to the reward is not good at this very moment in time. So we might be getting an alt season 2.0, but if we don't, it's no big deal, because at least we got the alt season 1.0, and a lot of people didn't. So we got it, and we need to try and keep it. We need to try and keep those gains. If you bought the bottom on those altcoins, like I'm sure some of you did, I wouldn't see a problem in keeping those as hodl if you're not prepared to sell them. Pretty much got a good entry point. You might be seeing your, all those gains go back to where you bought them from, but still, I would maintain the idea that most altcoins, if you bought them 2 months ago when we were buying them, that actually, I wouldn't call it a safe entry point, but I'd call it a pretty realistic, guess at where a bottom could form, and bigger gains will be generated over next year and the following. And so you should be okay to hodl that and stake that if you can. Other than that, then, I'll leave it with you there. Like I say, I'm not making any particular call at the moment. Normally, Tuesdays do have the opposite of the prior day, so we did close a little red yesterday. And so we might be seeing what's known as Turnaround Tuesday, which would be basically the opposite of what happens on a Monday. So any bounce from now back down to the 21, which is at 36,600-ish area, that's fine, and that's where the bounce might happen. We might see an actual bullish move at that point. Again, the daily does point to a further upside move. It is an ascending triangle, which is more bullish than bearish. And so if we're going to get the move, we should get it soon. But let's just be careful. I bought the dip, just to let you know, and I've bought some dips on altcoins. I'm not super pessimistic, but I didn't buy the dip with every single penny that I own to my name. I bought a realistic dip, with some money that, if it does work out, excellent. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. I'm not going to be wiped out. I will still keep a very sizable portion of what I've made over these last few months in the form of tether, so I can enjoy a much deeper dip next year. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.